Today we'll be reading from Genesis 2. You are all encouraged to engage in the comment section below, and please feel free to comment with any questions you may have. Let's begin our reading. Genesis 2. Thus the heavens and the earth were finished, and all the host of them. And on the seventh day God finished his work that he had done, and he rested on the seventh day from all his work that he had done. So God blessed the seventh day and made it holy, because on it God rested from all his work that he had done in creation. These are the generations of the heavens and the earth when they were created, in the day that the Lord God made the earth and the heavens, when no bush of the field was yet in the land, and no small plant of the field had yet sprung up, for the Lord God had not caused it to rain on the land, and there was no man to work the ground, and a mist was going up from the land and was watering the whole face of the ground. Then the Lord God formed the man of dust from the ground, and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and the man became a living creature. And the Lord God planted a garden in Eden, in the east, and there he put the man whom he had formed. And out of the ground the Lord God made to spring up every tree that is pleasant to the eye, and good for food. The tree of life was in the midst of the garden, as was the tree of knowledge of good and evil. A river flowed out of Eden to water the garden, and there it divided and became 4 rivers. The name of the first is Pishon. It is the one that flowed around the whole land of Havilah, where there is gold, and the gold of that land is good. Bdellium and onyx stone are there. The name of the second river is the Gihon. It is the one that flowed around the whole land of Cush. And the name of the third river is the Tigris, which flows east of Assyria. And the fourth river is the Euphrates. The Lord God took the man and put him in the garden of Eden to work it and keep it. And the Lord God commanded the man, saying, You may surely eat of every tree of the garden, but of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil you shall not eat, for in the day that you eat of it you shall surely die. Then the Lord God said, It is not good that the man should be alone. I will make him a helper fit for him. Now, out of the ground, the Lord God had formed every beast of the field and every bird of the heavens, and brought them to the man to see what he would call them. And whatever the man called every living creature, that was its name. The man gave names to all livestock, to the birds of the heavens, and to every beast of the field. But for Adam, there was no helper fit for him. So the Lord God caused a deep sleep to fall upon the man, and while he slept, he took one of his ribs and closed up its place with flesh. And the rib that the Lord God had taken from the man, he made into a woman and brought her to the man. Then the man said, This at last is bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman, because she was taken out of man. Therefore, a man shall leave his father and his mother, and hold fast to his wife, and they shall become one flesh. And the man and his wife were both naked and were not ashamed. So in this chapter, Genesis 2, we continue to witness the sovereignty of the one true God, the creator of all. This chapter offers a more detailed account of God's creative work, particularly the formation of humanity. God's sovereignty is evident in his completion of creation in 6 days, culminating with the 7th day, the Sabbath. He sanctified and set this day apart, establishing the pattern of rest and blessing. God, in his sovereignty, created Adam, the first man, from the dust of the ground. By breathing the breath of life into Adam's nostrils, God bestowed upon him the gift of life, demonstrating his supreme authority over life and existence. God's sovereignty extends to the creation of the Garden of Eden, a paradise teeming with life and beauty. He designed this beautiful environment and strategically placed Adam within it. The description of the garden's rivers, including the Tigris and Euphrates, points to God's mastery over the land. God's sovereignty becomes even more evident as he assigns a purpose to Adam, instructing him to tend and keep the garden. Simultaneously, God issues a vital command, allowing Adam the freedom to partake of any tree in the garden except for the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. The consequence of disobedience, death, serves as a definite reminder of God's supreme authority over life and his role as the ultimate judge. God recognizes Adam's need for companionship and forms Eve from Adam's rib. This act highlights God's role as the divine matchmaker, showcasing his authority over relationships and unity. God's sovereignty governs the institution of marriage as Adam and Eve become one flesh. Their innocence, being naked and unashamed, truly emphasized God's design for purity and intimacy in human relationships. Overall, this chapter further magnifies God's sovereignty as the creator, life-giver, and sustainer of all. His intricate involvement in forming humanity, establishing the Sabbath, designing the Garden of Eden, and instituting marriage showcases his supreme authority. Every aspect of this chapter points to God's sovereignty and reinforces the fundamental truth that he is the one true God, the author of all creation. Thank you for joining me in this video. If you found it helpful and would like to continue exploring the Bible with us, please take a moment to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. Our goal is to post a chapter or two as often as we can, and as we journey through our readings, I encourage you to leave comments for dialogue and any questions you may have. Your feedback and engagement are greatly appreciated. Thanks for tuning in, and I look forward to seeing you all in the next video, Lord willing. God bless you all.